Man, what's going on, everybody? I hope everybody's having a blessed day. I'm still new to this streaming shit, so I'm still trying to figure out on how to like what to talk about and stuff like that. But I feel like one of the things that I want to speak on is when, especially that I've been recording people now for a couple years and stuff, and being on social media and watching like a small artist that only have like a couple hundred followers or a couple thousand followers. I feel like everybody want to try to fit that typical mold. Everybody want to make drill music. Everybody want to do this. Everybody want to do that, and they want to fit that typical mold of the rapper that they see that they like the most. You know what I mean? And it's like he made it there because he was authentic or pretty close to authentic with it. You know what I mean? And I see it so much being from a small city where people come in that I've known a long time in my life and I've been around them, and it's like, bro, when we was out doing shit, we was not gang banging and you was not doing nothing, and now you want to get in the studio and you want to talk about gang banging and talk about drilling and shit, bro. It's like, bro, you was never outside like that, never doing nothing, and now you want to get in the studio and act like you're from Chicago and act like you've been drilling your whole life. It's like everybody needs to find their own sound and your talk about your actual life. Like I don't know how to put it. With I feel like people want to make music that they think people will like instead of actually making music about your life. I feel like if you go down the road of actually making music about your life, it'll eventually start to catch on. Cause like it's took me a long time, and I'm finally about to hit. Like I've been dropping stuff on YouTube for about 2 years now. I mean, there was a year in between when I was on house arrest that I didn't drop anything, so like a year altogether. But I'm about to hit 100,000 views on YouTube, and in the past 6 months, I'm 40K views away from 500,000 views on Facebook. So it takes time, and that's the one thing I think everybody just wants, that quick, instant. Like they think they can just make a song and upload the song and the cover art and it's gonna take off. Like no, it takes a lot more than that. Like I've had plenty I've had plenty of extremely talented artists come here and record, way more talented than me. Way more. I'm not I'll never sit here and cap like I think I'm the most talented artist ever. I'm not even fucking close. I'm not at all. I enjoy making music though. But I've had people that have came here that are 10 times more talented than me, and they don't want to do the other stuff that comes. They can make the music just fine, but they don't want to do any of the other stuff that comes with it. They don't want to do the social media part of it. They don't want to make music videos and reels. They don't want to do 5, 6 reels. They don't want to post on social media every day. They don't want to be on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and Threads and Twitter and posting on YouTube and posting on SoundCloud and posting on Spotify, and they don't want to do all that all the time. Like, and they just want to be able to upload their audio track or upload a picture with their sound on it and a cover art and want it to blow up, and that's just never going to work, especially with no marketing behind you. A big artist that has a major label behind him, or even without a major label that just has a huge fan base, can drop a song and a cover art with not a lot of promotion and still get a lot of views. But if you're a small artist with only a couple thousand subscribers or a couple thousand followers, like you can't do that. Like pretty much for every one of my songs I've put out, I try to do a behind the scenes thing when we're shooting the video, shoot the video, drop the video in song, and then drop the cover art in song, and then do reels to it too on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, all them platforms. Like trying to think, guys. Like I said, I'm still new to this streaming shit, trying to come up with shit to talk about. Like I just feel like there's a lot more to it. And one thing that I even am just now starting to realize, which is why I'm trying to do the podcast part of it and the streaming part of it also on top of everything else, is so the people that do listen to my music and are on my social media platforms can get to know me a little bit better as a person instead of just seeing what I put out there musically, like, and just hearing what I put out there musically. Like, they can actually get to know me as, you know, I mean, a person more with watching my streams and the podcast and me talking about stuff and all that instead of just listening to the music and seeing the pictures and videos I put out there. You don't get to know the person as much, I feel like. So that's why I started streaming and all that. One sec, y'all. Come on, buddy. But yeah, I feel like a lot of people want to be an artist and just an artist, and nowadays you have to be an artist and a content creator together. I don't think you can just be one anymore. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm delusional in thinking that, but I just, me personally, what are you doing, big boy? Sit. Hey, Zeus, sit. Sit your butt down, you fat boy. Good boy. Good boy. But yeah, I don't think you can separate the two anymore. Like, I think it has to be both. Like, I think you have to be a content creator and a artist at the same time. Like, I don't think it can be one or the other anymore. Maybe I'm wrong, but and some more advice I could give to somebody trying to be an artist would definitely be to not expect it to just happen overnight. It never happens overnight. Even the people that you see blow up that you think it happened overnight, most of the time they were still in the background putting work in for years before that happened. Just because they blew up in the industry overnight doesn't mean that they weren't in the background and making music for years and putting in work to get that shit to blow up. It doesn't happen overnight, ever. It's not a thing. Cause like even me, I kind of had that false hope and shit the first time, and my first music video didn't do too bad. Like, it got 2,000 views on YouTube. Like, it has some shorts and shit with like 40,000, 50,000 views on TikTok. It has like 40,000 views on Facebook. So like, for my first music video ever, it didn't do too bad. But even me, like, I had that expectation, like, oh, I could just drop a video and blow up. But like, I quickly realized that that's not true, and I think that's where a lot of people get discouraged, I feel like, and then they drop a couple songs and no videos or no promotion, and they don't see no results from it, and then they just get discouraged and give up. Zeus, what are you doing, buddy? Give me a toy. Give me a toy. Oh, it's all slobbery. Ah, all slobbery, fathead. But I definitely feel like if you want to be an artist nowadays, I feel like you have to be a content creator too. You got to put stuff out there on social media for the people that want to listen to your content to get to know you personally as a person, not just from your music and music videos and stuff. Like, that's why interviews and podcasts and stuff like that I feel like are important for artists. You know what I mean? Because it lets people get to know them as a person. It not like actually face to face as a person, but it gets to let the fan see the inside of somebody more than just from the music. I feel like, you know what I mean. But definitely don't just give up. Like, if you're really serious about this, like, and you want to make it work, because like music was never my main ambition ever. Hey, bud. Music's never been my main ambition ever. Like, I started the DJ and the studio stuff before I ever made my own songs. So like, if I never, obviously, who wouldn't want to blow up and make millions of dollars from their music? obviously anybody. But if I never made a dime from music and made all my money from the studio and the podcast and the DJ and the party buses and stuff that I plan on getting and the podcast and all that stuff and off social media, I would be okay with that. Like, so it just all depends on what you're trying to do too, like with your life. Like, I don't know, like, because I'm still new, but like I feel like I'm finally putting enough work where I'm seeing some progress to where I can give a little bit of advice. Because like I said, I've been posting on Facebook for like steady for like 3 years for like just social media stuff, but 2 years for music. I've been steady posting for 2 years for music, and I'm finally getting to where it's paying off. To where the last 6 months I almost done 500,000 views on Facebook. So like it's definitely paying off and it's finally coming together. Like I got monetized. I'm making money off YouTube or Facebook and shit finally. But yeah, I feel like a lot of people get discouraged really quick because they don't have they don't have the that's one place where I feel like it's easier for me not to get discouraged is because I went and built my own studio and I don't have to worry about going and renting studio time and trying to make sure I have enough money to go there, get the beat, rent studio time, do all that. Like I can just go into my own studio and do it. So I feel like that's a little different for me because not everybody has that opportunity. I just had the money because I was getting sober and getting out the game and shit. And I just bought a lot of DJ equipment and a lot of studio equipment and started building the studio and started DJing. So, but if you're really serious about it, just keep pushing, keep posting content, but actual content. Don't go on SoundCloud or on your audio thing and screen record just your audio or your BandLab or your SoundCloud or whatever and then post that. Don't You can do that too. I'm not saying don't do that, but you have to do more than that. You can't just do that and think that that's going to get any traction at all because it's not. And um I'm just trying to think like some shit that I've learned over the years. Cause like yeah, one of the biggest things I think is just being yourself. Like for real. Like if you weren't living a certain type of lifestyle, don't try to make music about that lifestyle. Be yourself. That's why like and that's why one of the things I always hear is oh he just a wannabe gangster. But in none of my music you hear me talking about no gangbanging shit, no drilling shit, nothing like that. You only hear me talking about hustling and carrying pipes for fucking self defense and shit like that. Like you don't hear no gangbanging shit in my music, and that's because I'm being myself. Like I wasn't living that type of lifestyle. I wasn't gangbanging. Nobody has ever heard or seen me do anything like that because that wasn't the type of life I'm living. And if you weren't living that type of life, don't try to make music about that. You know what I mean? That's the main thing I think because like I've had several people that I knew or know people that knew them personally and weren't they're not like that and then they get in here and they want to act like they straight came up in the hood in Chicago and they've been gangbanging like King Von their whole life. And it's like, bro, I know you. Like what? I know you. You weren't like that. What are we talking about here? Why are you making music like that? Like you weren't living like that. So why are you making music like that? I can't stand that shit. Especially if you're trying to make it seem like that's how you were living and you're not. Like, I don't know. My biggest thing, yeah, just be yourself for real. If you know what I mean, if you were just a good kid that did whatever, like find a way to make music that's still about your actual life and being yourself instead of trying to be something that you're not. Like I don't know. Like I don't know how to explain it perfectly, but I think if you're just authentic, it's better. Because like I would rather listen to somebody that makes music about their real life, even if it's like not the type of music that I listen to, instead of listening to somebody make fake music about a life that they never lived or done anything. And yeah, so definitely just be yourself. Freaking don't watch other artists and look at their lives and think, oh, I need to come up quick. I need to get like it's not gonna happen. Most of the time, 90% of the people you're looking at on Instagram that act like they got it don't got shit. They never did. They never had shit. It's their homies stuff. It's never like they never had shit. Like that's why most people, most artists' lifestyles are fake until you actually get rich, and then even then, most of their lifestyles are fake. How many times have we seen videos of rappers and people with fake money and claiming their cars are theirs when they're rented, or claiming a house is theirs but it's rented? You know what I mean? Like that's the thing. Like if you're gonna rent cars and a house for a video, just tell people you did. It's still a lot of fucking money. It's still a lot of money to rent a Lambo and rent a mansion for a fucking video. What are we talking about? So if you're gonna rent it for the video, just tell people you rented it for the video. Who wants, you know what I mean? So like, it's just the fake shit gets people caught up. It's like, why lie about something simple like that? Yes, I spent 5 grand to rent a mansion for 2 days for a music video. I still spent 5 grand for 2 days. You know what I mean? It's like, no, I don't own the multi-million-dollar house, but I still got it enough to where I'm, you know what I mean? So like, don't try to be fake with it. That's the one thing I say. Like, the one thing I see the most of is like, I was working with this one artist and this one photographer, and he was a good homie of mine. And I knew him for years, like 3 years altogether. And in his music, he always talking about getting it out the mud and having racks in his pockets and shit. But I always paid for everything. He never had gas money. And I never put it, like, threw it in his face or nothing. That's just what homies did. But then after the fact, he wanted to not stop fucking with me and say that I'm being weird when I always paid for everything. And then never fucking said a word about him talking about, yeah, we got it out the mud. I got blue racks in my pocket and shit. Like, bro, but you always asking me for a front on weed. You always asking me for, you know what I mean? It's like how you gonna ask somebody for some weed and gas money, but then talk about having $100 bills in your pockets in the song that you just dropped? Like, what is we talking about? Like, be yourself. I don't know. That's one thing that gets to me because I get it a lot. People try to judge me by the cover. You know what I mean? And it's like, well, with me, you're actually wrong for real because like I don't talk about anything in my music that I actually didn't go through, and I don't try to hide anything. I grew up in a small town. I grew up working on a farm, my neighbor's farm. I grew up like a single mom trailer, and then we grew up in a farmhouse that my mom rented on this old farm. Like I grew up, you know what I mean? And then got in trouble when I was in high school and shit a lot. Got arrested, got kicked out of high school, started hustling. I grew up in the country. Like I don't hide a single thing about my life, like where I came from and all that. So like I can't stand to see somebody else that came from a small town or something and then try to act like they grew up in the hood gangbanging. And it's like, bro, just be yourself. Like be authentic. Like, because there's nothing wrong with making that type of music. I like that type of music. I listen to it every day. It goes a lot along with a lot of what my life was. I just was never gangbanging, and I don't like watching people or listening to people that make music about something that they didn't do. Like I would rather listen to some hustling music or something like that if that's what you were like, because that's what 90% of my music is talking about: partying, hustling, or what I was doing growing up. Like that's literally it. Like so, I don't know. I just can't stand to like. I've literally had people come record and then like never hit me back up, and I've just ended up deleting their tracks because like the whole thing was cap. It's like, bro, I know you. I've known you for 10 plus years. I have known you for 10 plus years, and every single line you just said in this song was a fucking lie. Why would I ever want to put my name on that? Why would I ever want to attach my name to something that is 100% cap? Like 150% cap. Why would I want to put my name on attached to something like that? Like that shit don't make no sense to me. Like if you weren't carrying guns and shit, don't talk about carrying guns in your music. If you wasn't outside doing whatever, don't talk about that shit in your music. If you wasn't selling shit and you wasn't hustling, don't talk about that shit in your music. If you was just partying and living college life, partying, talk about that in your music. If you was, you know what I mean, like really, if you grew up in the country, you know what I mean, farming and whatever, you can still make rap music. Just talk about your actual life. If you grew up in a small town, you know what I mean, playing ball and shit, running around partying, talk about your life. You know what I mean? Like just be authentic instead of trying to talk about a lifestyle that everybody knows you really didn't live. Like what's the point? That's why like I just don't understand. Like I don't understand it. Like that you can see it on me. Like I'm flabbergasted by the fact that so many people want to fake their persona and fake their complete whole life story and try to rewrite it just for some fame. It's like you want to hide everything about you. Like I don't try to hide anything. Like I grew up part of my life in Indiana, part of my life in Illinois, grew up part of my life out in the country on a farm in a small town, and part of my life in a real small kind of rundown house and with my grandma in Effingham, and part of my life in Indiana. Like I don't try to hide nothing. I grew up in the country most of my life, really hunting, fishing, working on a farm, boiler riding, doing that shit until I got old enough to then we started hustling. We carried guns for protection. We never carried guns because we was out sliding and drilling and gangbanging. And that's why you never hear me talk about shit like that. And that's why I just can't stand to record somebody or work with somebody who does talk about shit like that. It really gets under my skin because I think it gets under my skin more because I'll get the same type of comments that they really the comments should go towards. It's like people will say that I'm a wannabe or this or that, you know what I mean? And it's like, bro, I really am just talking about my life. Like, I know some people that your comments would actually fit. Like, why? Like, if you actually knew me, actually did look down my pages, actually did any research on me, like went on my other social medias and went on my YouTube and went on my shit and actually looked at you, I mean, you would realize like, oh, he's just a normal dude that is pretty fucking humble and just trying to do what he can. You know what I mean? Like I'm just a hustler. Ain't nobody trying to be a wannabe nothing. And that's why I don't think I like to attach my name to, especially even if I'm just recording you, even if I'm not on the song. Like I don't even like to be recording people that be just making straight lies on their music, and it's hard to even sit in the studio and listen to it. Like sit next to the person that's just straight capping in their music. Like it's extremely hard to sit in the studio and watch that shit because I'm not one to bite my tongue, but like I do be trying to bite my tongue because I want to make money and record people. But it's like at the same time, it's like, dude, I'm not trying to have my name attached to this that you made this here when the whole song is lies. Like the entire song is lies, and you want to tell people like, oh, this was made, Still Life did this and this and this, but you want to attach my name to something that's all lies. Like I'm not trying to do that. Zeus, what is he doing? He's a good boy. What are you doing, fathead? Hey, sit. Good boy. Got your toy in your mouth. He just walks around with his toy. But yeah, my biggest thing is just be authentic with whatever genre. If you want to make country music, rock music, rap music, country rap music, whatever type of music you want to make, I think just be authentic, honestly, be yourself, talk about your actual lifestyle. You know what I mean? If you grew up working your whole life and shit, it doesn't mean that you can't make good music about your life still. You just don't gotta lie in your music to try to make it sound like your life was different than what it actually was. I just dropped my fucking joint. Oh fuck. I just think, yeah, for real, and I think one of the biggest things you can do as a small artist is getting content out there, like long form content that you can put out and then clip into shorts where people can get to know you through streams or podcast or interviews or anything like that. Like I think that's a big thing for small artists that can really help you, is because then people can be like, oh shit, this dude seems like a decent dude. This dude seems like a down to earth dude, or I like this dude personally. Let me go see who he is, and then they go look at your page and be like, oh shit, I don't really fuck with this song, but oh shit, I fuck with this song and this song. Oh shit, I'm gonna start watching his streams. Oh shit, oh, his homie can really rap. Then he goes to my homie's page. You know what I mean? And they're like, oh shit, they're looking through my homie's page now and following him. So like it all just, I think the biggest thing, yeah, is just putting content out there to where people can get to know you, putting content out there, shorts, reels, especially putting reels out there for your music, not reels of this music video, but reels for the song that are different than the music video. That's a big thing. I think if you can, obviously everybody can't afford to do as many because like I don't always do this many either. Sometimes I just do one or two. But if you can, I think do 5 different reels and post them one or two before you post the actual song, and then the rest of them after you post the song. Like that way, you can get content out there where people are seeing and hearing your song actually, and then and visualize. They're seeing it on their shorts. Everybody's scrolling 24/7 nowadays. They're actually seeing it, and they're like, "Oh, this is catchy." Then they go to your page and they find the whole song. So, yeah, I think putting stuff out there for people to visually see and stuff out there for people to visually see who you are is definitely a big thing. And then what else, man? Definitely like letting people know your life too, like your actual life way before you was making music too, like how you grew up, where you grew up. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to tell them exactly. Nobody's saying tell them your address, but I'm saying like how'd you grow up? What town? You know what I mean? Like, was you in a small city, big town, small town, fucking what state? You know what I mean? Stuff like that. People can reckon or like connect with. It's like, oh shoot, I'm from Illinois too. Oh shoot, I'm from Indiana too. Or like, oh shoot, I'm from the same city as him. Like, let me see what he's up to. Like, you're fat head. What you doing, big boy? It's cold, so all the dogs are inside right now since it's so fucking cold outside. But yeah, I think people just seeing your life, and then my biggest thing too, like on Snap, I have 5,000 followers, and I post on Snap the like just my daily life more. Like everything that I post on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook and stuff is more geared towards certain things, but like on Snapchat, on my stories and shit, I just post my daily life, like what I'm doing, like when I'm in the studio, if I'm cooking, like whatever I'm doing, if I'm doing shit with the dogs, if I'm out and about, like I just be constantly posting like what I'm doing on my Snap stories, so people could see, you know, what I mean, get to know you better that way too. I just think all of it all together, like definitely helps. Like you can't just put out. It's not the 1990s anymore where you can get a music video on MTV and it's gonna play in front of millions of people because it's the only place you can watch music videos on MTV on TV. So if you get a music video on MTV, no matter what, it's gonna blow up because everybody in the world's gonna fucking hear it. It's not like that anymore. It's like 70,000 songs a day are posted on Spotify. 70,000 songs a day are posted on Spotify. 70. So you got to stick out. I don't couldn't even imagine how much shit is posted on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook every day. So you got to constantly post. I try to post several times a day on most of my social medias and shit like that. You got to constantly post, constantly, especially on the platforms where you can write like messages and stuff on TikTok. I mean, on TikTok and Instagram, you can't really do that as much, but on Facebook and Twitter and threads and stuff like that, make sure you're just posting random stuff, you know what I mean? Like, not random, but random kind of, you know what I mean? Stuff just for your followers to engage with, like, you know what I mean? Like, new video dropping soon, you know what I mean? New or stuff like that. Just you gotta keep people engaged, like. But I'm also not in the industry and I don't know half of what goes into marketing yet. Like I'm still learning. Like I've ran ads and shit, but not really. Like I ran ads for the studio and stuff. I got my studio pages on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook and stuff, and my DJ pages on same TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. But I've ran ads for them and shit, but I haven't really ran ads and shit yet, or know what goes into actual marketing, like for music yet. But like, just to start getting your name out, like that's what I'm trying to just give you advice on, like the simple stuff to start building your social medias up and stuff. Like, I think I got 50,000 views on Instagram this month. Uh, Almost 200,000, 187,000 on Facebook this month. Last 90 days on Facebook, I've had 340,000 and then 111,000 before that. So almost 550,000, 450,000 altogether. So I'm about 50,000 away from hitting 500,000 on Facebook for the last 6 months. And on Instagram, yeah, I've done right around 40,000 the past month on Instagram. Like, I just be steady posting though, like 24/7, I'm posting. Like, I'm always posting my reels too. Like, you can see my streams and shit, my music reels. Just constantly posting. You gotta, like, my biggest ones on Instagram and shit have gotten like 10,000 views, 15,000 views, stuff like that. I get more views and more stuff on Facebook than I do Instagram. But yeah, I think I'm gonna get off here though, y'all. I hope everybody has a blessed day, stays warm, stay out of the ditches if you can help from it. If you're on four-wheelers and shit, have fun, be safe. Nobody needs to go to the hospital, end up in a wheelchair like me from breaking their back. But have fun, y'all. Be safe.